But another one that's interesting here is, geez, I wonder who may well have told parts of the press that there's a chance that after the Invictus Games that Harry was going to end up meeting with King Charles. But surprise, surprise, that story's not true.
Yeah, there's another one. It's full of it, isn't it? It's just all of them. Yes, it was that he was going to pop in and see his father, but not just pop in and pop out, and talk to his father on his way after the Invictus Games, which last a week. And it's come out now that it's not going to happen. And Prince William certainly won't have anything to do with him, because he's still so furious about what he said about the royal family, what he said about him, Princess Caroline, and what he said about Catherine, not Caroline, sorry, and what he said about himself. So I think that's off, although it wasn't really on. But again, I think they're doing this whole thing about they want to come back. There was the other week, it was they were going to rent a room in one of the palaces, rent a floor, and be there so that they can help. But nobody wants them to help. We've all moved on. And I think that this whole thing about pretending that they could come back, Meghan doesn't want to come back to the UK. We're much too small. We're not of any interest to her. It's all that if she can hang on to be in the public eye and retain a sort of amazing prima donna image of herself, then she's happy. But, it's just nonsense, and it's so irritating.
Now, also worth noting here too is Prince William. Now, he has supported English football in all of its forms for a long period of time, be it World Cup, be it Euro, be it, whatever it happens to be, he's well and truly front and centre. He made the decision not to come to Australia for when England was playing Spain in the Women's World Cup final. Now, I get it that you're damned in either direction, but if you turn up for lots of things, should he not have turned up for this, considering that Australia is part of the job brief, isn't it?
Oh, certainly it is. But actually, the king hasn't been there. And I think after a coronation, it's respectful that he comes and spends some time there, because I don't think that you would be pleased if he came whizzing over for a 90-minute football match and then left you straight away. I mean, that would have been very rude, I think. If he was coming to see you and the Australians, which are our great friends, then you can't just buzz off straight away afterwards. But I think the main thing was that he's felt very strongly about the climate, and he didn't want to come over on a guzzling plane, which would use an awful lot. He sort of said to himself that if it's a quick trip, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to travel very far if it's a quick trip. And this would be a quick trip. And he doesn't want to look like a hypocrite. And I'm sure if he'd done it, the same people that have been shouting and screaming at him that, you should have been there, and what's he supposed to be? He wants to be a king and he's behaving like this. It would be the same people, because I'm sure it's just anti-monarchy, who would say bad things about him if he did go and bad things about him if he didn't go. But my own secret idea is that he doesn't want to look like Harry and be a hypocrite. And he can't really stand firm against Harry's behaviour if he does the same thing and uses up a lot of, oil and all that stuff.